Here in the Philippines, hybrids are the next logical step when it comes to vehicle technology because we still don't have the proper EV infrastructure at the time of this filming. The biggest hurdle, however, is how to make hybrids more affordable, a challenge that Nissan Motor Philippines is willing to address with this. This, my friends, is the Nissan Kicks VL with e-Power, and in this video, we get to check it out. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Reagan and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I invite you to click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Filipino automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, click that like button and enjoy the show. Also, special thanks to Nissan Otis for providing the Nissan Kicks VL with e-Power to do this car feature. If you're within the area and you need any Nissan, head on down here and check them out. For any inquiries, you may also contact the hotline in my pinned comment below. Oh yes, and before we begin, if you find this video useful, clicking that super thanks button will also be highly appreciated. The Nissan Kicks has been around in the global market since 2016, but the Kicks with e-Power only came out last 2020. Here in the local lineup, we get 3 variants of the hybrid Nissan Kicks with this top spec Kicks VL with e-Power retailing for only 1,509,000 Philippine pesos. Now that, my friends, makes this Kicks VL the most affordable top-spec hybrid vehicle in the Philippines. So let's see what kind of features you're gonna get for your money. The Nissan Kicks gets the same familiar Nissan front fascia here with the V-motion grille that merges well into the full LED headlight units. Now, this is a good and distinctive look, handsome even, and I dare say that this Kicks looks so much better than the Nissan Juke, at least in my opinion, guys. Now, one way to distinguish if this is the top spec VL trim is the fact that we get a pair of LED fog lights here because the lower trim doesn't get any fog lights. Now, as you notice also, the logo of Nissan here is also just a hologram because this, my friends, houses the radar for Nissan's Intelligent Mobility Suite. The Nissan Kicks VL gets an identical side profile to the lower trim Kicks, which means that we get a blacked out roof here as well as blacked out roof pillars, but the roof rails are finished in satin silver. Now we also get the blacked out power folding side mirrors with LED turn signals and of course that e-Power badge right there on the front door because the hybrid badge is so overused already. Now as for the wheels and tires of the Nissan Kicks, well these, the VL, or well all Kicks here in the Philippines gets 17-inch alloy wheels that are wrapped in 55 series tires, and behind those wheels, well the Kicks gets disc brakes on all 4 corners. Now, as for the suspension, well, it rides on a strut-type front suspension and a torsion beam at the back. As for the ground clearance, guys, well, the Kicks has a ground clearance of 180 millimeters, which is pretty typical for a city-going hybrid crossover. The rear end of the Nissan Kicks looks every bit the futuristic hybrid crossover that it is. You see, it gets full LED taillights here, a reflector bar right there on the center, although, yeah, it would have looked so much better if this reflector bar were an actual LED light bar. Now, that would make it look gorgeous. And of course, guys, when you look at the rear end, it has all the sharp corners, creases, and lines that will make any geometry teacher happy. Now guys, when you pop open the manual liftgate of this Nissan Kicks VL, you'll see that it gets one of the largest, if not the largest cargo area in the subcompact crossover segment. You see, at 470 liters of cargo space, the Nissan Kicks can easily swallow a medium-sized luggage. Its brother right there, so that makes it 2 medium-sized luggage, guys, and well, some smaller items here on the side. Now, if you need more space than 470 liters, well, you can always tumble down the back seats of the Nissan Kicks, and that will grant you over 800 liters of cargo capacity. Now, mind you guys, that back seat doesn't really fold flat though, so that's also something that you need to consider. But goodness, dude, 470 liters in a subcompact crossover. Man, yeah, that is something else. Underneath the hood of the Nissan Kicks is the special hybrid system that Nissan has developed. You see, my friends, this is the e-power setup, where we have an electric motor that solely drives the front wheels, and it's complemented by a gasoline motor whose sole purpose in life is to recharge the battery pack found underneath the front seats. Now, this, my friends, will give you the benefits of a full EV, which means that you get instantaneous torque, and you also have a quiet and smooth driving operation, but you don't have the range anxiety of a full EV, and you don't also have the need to plug in your vehicle. So it's essentially like a cell phone with a power bank, but in this case, the power bank is a gasoline motor that recharges the battery pack. Now, what we have here is a 100 kilowatt electric motor that is good for 134 horsepower and 280 instantaneous Newton meters of torque. Now, complementing that electric motor is a 1.2-liter 3-cylinder gasoline engine that is good for 78 horses and 103 Newton meters of torque. Now, I'll have to repeat this, my friends. This 1.2-liter 3-cylinder gasoline motor does not drive the front wheels. It's only the electric motor that does that. The 1.2-liter gasoline motor's sole purpose in life is to recharge that battery pack found underneath the front seat, so that you'll have the peace of mind whenever you're driving the Nissan Kicks out on a long drive. The Nissan Kicks VL gets a rather basic and business-like cabin here, which kind of took me by surprise, guys, because yeah, the name Kicks by itself is quite fun, and you would expect that this cabin would also be on the fun side, but nope. We get just blacks and grays here with some contrast white stitching here and there. Oh, fun fact, guys, the name Kicks was inspired by the streets of Sao Paulo, Brazil, because apparently the people there like to do some kicks, you know, football. Yeah, so now you know. Anyway, guys, this top spec Kicks VL still gets Nissan's famous zero-gravity seats, and these seats are wrapped in black leather with contrast white stitching. The steering wheel is also leather wrapped, and it has a flat bottom here, guys, although the quality of the leather used on the steering wheel is similar to the one I saw in the new Nissan Almera, which means that we get pebbled dinosaur skin leather here. Now, thankfully though, the steering wheel also adjusts for tilt, and it also telescopes, so that is a bit of good news for taller people out there. And when you look at the instrument gauge cluster here, well, it's the same layout as the Nissan Almera. You see, we get an analog speedometer on the right side, but the left side is dominated by a 7-inch digital multi-information display. Now, as for the infotainment system here, guys, we get an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that comes with wireless Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto, and it also powers a 6-speaker setup, which can only be found here in the top spec Kicks VL because the lower trim only has to make do with 4 speakers. Now, the infotainment screen also has the image of a 360-degree view camera, which Nissan calls the Around View Monitor, and it is part of the Nissan's Intelligent Mobility Suite. Now, as you are seeing on your screen, guys, these are the safety bits of the Nissan Kicks VL, along with the driver assist aids that make up Nissan's Intelligent Mobility Suite, as I said. Now, other niceties here, guys, include a single zone fully automatic climate control system there. We got an electronic park brake with an auto hold feature, a small cubby that is supposed to house your smartphone, but it's not a wireless charge pad. A little bit of a bummer, guys. And we also have a futuristic looking shifter here that is, it's par for the course for a hybrid vehicle. We also have a cubby here in the center tunnel that is supposed to be a pair of cup holders, but it doesn't get a divider, so I'm pretty sure that it will fail my 600 ml clean canteen test. As you can see, my clean canteen fits, but not all the way, and because there's no divider, the clean canteen might fall, see? So we don't want that. We don't want our drinks to fall while we are driving around. Now, guys, I've checked it. There's really no divider, so yeah, there's that. Other than that, guys, we also have a center armrest here with it's a padded leather center armrest, and we also have some soft, padding in the door cards, as well as some stitched leather areas here on the middle dashboard. But as I said when we started this cabin segment, this cabin features, guys, the interior could really use a splash of color because all I see are mostly dark gray plastics all around. So yeah, Kicks could have been fun, guys, but well, it is what it is. The Nissan Kicks with e-Power has a battery pack found underneath the front seats here. So yes, the back seat, weirdly enough, has a little bit of a taller sitting position here. You see, it feels like you're sitting on a wooden dining chair because you're seated quite upright and your legs just fall off into the foot area there. Now, having said that, we do get a tad bit smaller headroom here than the usual subcompact crossovers because, guys, at 5'6", well, this is my driving position here, my headroom is a scant 3.5 to 4 inches. Yeah, that's kind of small for a crossover, and but at least the knee room is decent at around 5 to 6 inches. Now, as for the amenities here at the back, guys, well, we only get one. We get a couple of USB-A charge ports here. We don't get rear AC vents, but granted, this is a Nissan, so the air conditioning up front would be super cold. We also don't get center armrests here, although in fairness, the seats themselves are quite soft and also quite comfortable. The Nissan Kicks VL may be the most affordable hybrid crossover in the Philippines today, but it uses a different kind of hybrid vehicle technology. So the million-dollar question here is it more fuel efficient? Well, that, my friends, is a question that can only be answered by a future driving video. Now, Nissan Motor Philippines says that it is, but until we truly test it out, we'll never know for sure. Until then, guys, thanks for watching.